Right, kneel before her bow, stand. Ladies kneel, right? Like curtsy. So,
Your Grace.
we gotta make a good first impression. She's pleased. Good.
Girl knows her courtesy.
Hey everyone, my name is Mike and welcome back to Game of Thrones. In the last part we met Mira Forrester for the first time, and she is the third character that we play as in this series, and she is the handmaiden to Lady Margaery in King's Landing. And we've just spoken to Lady Margaery and she's told us now that the Queen, Cersei, wants to speak to us about what's happened in the north with the Starks betraying everyone. Well, not betraying, but in their eyes betraying Ned Stark. So she's going to question us a bit, I think, about what we think and what we should be doing. So let's jump into this to see what she has to say to us. Here we go. So we've got Cersei there by the chair and also Tyrion Lannister. Let's see what these guys want.
You can do this.
You can do this. Here we go. So we're going to walk forward. There's not too much of a big crowd, so we're not that intimidated right now. Don't leave me behind, Marjorie.
Ah, Lady Margaery. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Right, kneel before her bow, stand. Ladies kneel, right? Like curtsy. So,
Your Grace.
we gotta make a good first impression. She's pleased. Good.
Girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
Thank you.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
Yes, Your Grace. To the one true king.
Oh,
The one true king. Yet she didn't say which. The girl is clever.
She only meant...
I don't care what she meant. I care what she said.
oh, stop nitpicking.
I won't stand for impertinence from a girl of the north.
If you would give her the chance to explain...
Perhaps she can explain why the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark for centuries. A house of traitors.
The
They were the wardens of the north. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Oh, you keep telling me I'm clever.
Perhaps
Thank you,
too
Tyrion.
clever for her own good. And she would have us believe she didn't know which king she served. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Absolutely. I don't want to
Yes, Your Grace.
say anything against her. What she says, you gotta just.
I see. Despite the fact Roose Bolton allied with Walder Frey. If it was me, I'd find it difficult to so quickly forgive the men who killed my father. Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forrester Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Yes, Your Grace.
Just be nice.
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yeah.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
See, now she's smirking because
I
she
see.
knows she's got us now.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
She only followed her. I won't judge her. I won't judge her.
I won't judge her, Your Grace. I wasn't there. I didn't face her decisions.
You avoided the question.
Aren't you a delightful
Oh.
girl? If only one could flit through life without ever holding an opinion.
Shit.
Of their own.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
I would
King.
be true to the king, Your Grace.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging.
You can't please her. I think if you
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
just say
Of course, Your
what's
Grace.
in your heart, she would say, "Oh, you're not loyal to the king." Then if you say you're loyal to the king, she goes, "Oh, you're not saying what's true to your heart." So you can't really win with Cersei.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I did it for Lady Marjorie.
Rather odd, if that's what she asked of you. But I'm sure she has your best interests at heart. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your Ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The Crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the Crown in this regard, not her.
What are you suggesting?
I suppose the Crown could be persuaded to secure Ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that?
No, not really, because kind of like,
It may be far too dangerous.
yeah, you've got to stick with your house,
In
right?
fact, forget I even suggested such
No.
a thing.
I'm sorry, Lord Tyrion. But it's a risk I cannot afford.
I admire your discretion. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
There's always someone listening, isn't there, as well? You gotta be careful what you say in King's Landing. What's she got there? Got the note from her mother.
Mira, I was worried.
Who's
How
this?
was it?
She's just a friend.
Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing.
Yeah.
It didn't go very well.
I'm sorry. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th born sons. Sansa, Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his. Sarah! What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell.
The Viper.
The Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour. Which I doubt is...
He is quite handsome though, I've got to say.
He is quite handsome.
He's a bit of a badass as well.
Passionate, from what I've heard. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen?
I don't think I would.
He does have a certain look about him. And he's always treated Lady Marjorie well. Which is more than you can say for his mother.
I'd be willing to marry, but not Joffrey.
Let's hope she doesn't go tell anyone that.
Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match! Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing?
Being girls. Gossiping.
Well,
We're just having fun, I was doing nothing. Just
Sarah?
sorry.
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
this
all
is
her
not
fault.
a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira.
She was?
I'm just glad it's over.
I thought she was quite...
King's Landing can
No.
be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Sarah's right.
Once you are queen, the lords and ladies will do their best to please you.
You learn very quickly.
Pleasing a lot of people today in King's
You
Landing.
were brave agreeing to obey the Boltons. That cannot have been easy. I know you must fear what Lord Bolton might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Ooh. The help? What's the help? Is the help the note that she got from her mother? Asking Marjorie to help them, you know. I don't know what the help was. Let's see what she says.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
You okay? Can Sarah be
It's
trusted?
about my family.
I trust her.
Let's just go with what Marjorie's saying there. We've got to let her stay, I guess.
Go on.
My mother needs our
Ask.
help. Let's just be subtle.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
It's a lot to ask, though, isn't it? When Joffrey's in power.
That is no small request.
Cersei's accusing us.
Especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks. And now you would have me ask him to intervene?
It is a big
Is the
ask.
situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it. Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa.
I'll be in your debt.
I will forever be in your debt. My family will forever be in your debt.
Flick those eyelashes.
I don't know, Mirror. If Cersei were to find out...
You're adored by the king. He'll do what you say.
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Just ask at least, isn't it? Just try.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my
Sweet.
lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
She's looking a bit nervous now, Marjorie. So what's... Okay. So we've left King's Landing now. We're going to go back to the guy... Gerald? I think his name is. He's heading towards the wall. And hopefully he'll make it there in one piece. So let's see what's happening in the next part. So thanks for watching, guys. And see you guys next time. Bye.